Hey guys, and welcome to the Igloo today. And today we're going to be showing something that I've been having a lot of thought about when it comes to the Cybertruck. And yes, I'm going to be getting one, but it would be more of a process of why I'm getting one at the end of the video. But that's not going to cover why I did this today. So today I was thinking about from Elon's tweets to see like what we can actually get for 45 miles of range and something of a similar fashion, and thinking of first principles and just combining different kind of technologies that I could see to make something presentable in a fashion. So I'm using something like Tinkercad that I'm going to be bringing up in a second right here. And what I want to do is I want to be able to show something that I think might be the design for the Cybertruck. So we already know that the vault cover is going to have something around 15 miles of range. Now, I don't know if they're going to combine like the extra roof panel that's going to be on top of the actual Cybertruck. But, I mean, if it's all at one angle and it's all at a slant, you might as well have the whole thing to be as a solar kind of collector, as you will. But he says that there would be an equivalence of 15 miles of range. Now, the reason why I did this, and I think there's a video of somebody calculating the overall like amount of usage for the amount of miles that you would need for just that one panel. And I would think of a similar design based on the thumbnail that I had for this kind of concept. And that is something where it can be right into the side panels of the actual Cybertruck. And that is because they would be very triangular in nature, and you can be able to just fold them up and be able to just stow them away in the side panels themselves. And I think that that is pretty much one of the best options when it comes to the like deployable nature of the Cybertruck. Now, one thing when it comes to like what I was reading from different people's comments is that just slap it around all of the vehicle. Well, when you realize the design of this, especially in the renderings, that you have this one flat piece in the front. Now, that's not going to really benefit when, especially with solar panels, you want everything to be efficient in facing one direction. So just like on how you would face actual solar panels, you would try to face the truck like onto the back side of it facing south as best as you can, depending on your parking and everything else. And that's what I think would be the case in most situations. Now, I had a couple people speculate whether it would be for the actual case of like this is with the camping package and all this other stuff, and I'll probably have a picture of it up on screen right now and showing on how it could work with that package. Now, again, it wouldn't be necessarily true when it comes to this, but again, I could be wrong. I could be that there'd be just two gigantic like panels that you would put on the side, and that would be another package for camping. But the reason why I think this would hold more to fruition, and I'll show you why, especially when again, this is not my render, as in like the design of the Cybertruck, but just the addition of having the solar panel lookalikes, is that you would have something right here, right? And that would be able to clamp on to the window, which is almost in line with the top edge. Now, I wouldn't say I would put it at the top edge, because you would have something like a C-clamp that you would let the window go down, and then you would put the window up to keep the solar panel in place. Because, again, you don't want the thing flopping all over the place, especially if you already have a mounting point at the very end on over here. Now, if it's like the pictures where the flap goes up, of course, this won't work in the first place when it comes to this. The flaps would need to go down in order for this to like be a functioning like prototype of this type of design. Again, going off of first principles in the thinking process of having the solar panels in a particular way makes it so this would be the most ideal solution. And I had this kind of idea concept coming from rovers from Mars, especially with like Curiosity and seeing everything like that. It inspired me for what I see, especially when you tie these kind of ideas together. That yes, it is a form over function thing, and this screams the form over function for the design, especially for what I have been seeing with this kind of concept. Now, again, it might be different. If you guys want to put renderings down in the comments, and I can be like, yeah, that could work too. That could work too. But again, when I'm seeing this, I see this as you're pulling up to your home, right? You're pulling up this type of design so that you can be able to have this parked away from everything else. Now, would I recommend you doing this like on top of a parking complex or on top of a multi-story parking lot? No, because you're clearly in violation of both the parking spots to your left and your right. I don't necessarily think that that's going to be the case of making a deployable thing for 45 miles of range. I don't think that at all. What I think is something like this would be of a design that you would most likely see, because having solar panels on the back of the vault and the roof, that would be ideal when it comes to setting up the solar panels in that type of array. But I don't see anything where you would put it on the side, you would cover the fronts, it wouldn't look right, and at the same time, like, it would not serve a good function, because the higher degree that you go off of for due south or due north, depending on where you live. I live in New Jersey, so this design screams that you would set it up while you're at work or something like that, and you have a large space on both sides, enough for that, but it's not a parking area. Okay, and that's to be very important. It cannot be a parking natural area that we have that would cause this. Again, if you guys like this kind of thinking process, be sure to leave a comment, leave a like down below. Currently, this is my next video that I'm kind of working on, is that this is a Corsair Reservoir, right? And I'm going to be having something on the works. So I already worked on my prints. The first one was a failure for the mounting bracket for it. Again, this is not final product. This is just to get concept of the holes, the dimensions, and everything else. Then I went to finalizing the holes with this design to make sure everything's done. And then, because I wanted to have form and proof of concept, I went to just designing a pillar. And it can be able to be you can just screw it out so that you can activate it as a reservoir. I didn't fully test everything yet when it comes to this, but it will be something in a PC case in the future. I'm going to be experimenting. I have down here, I have Volcano PLA. So that's the one that I've been using for that. Now, again, it's PLA. Yes, I do know that it's biodegradable, but I'm also, again, when it's like fast production rates and fast like prototyping, I'm thinking that would be easier for me instead of just going to something like nylon and then working from there. And again, that's my own kind of proof of design and everything else. Again, if you guys like this kind of content, leave a like, leave a comment down below. Have a good one.